Join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comments. Did anyone sign in for public comments? Yes, I did. Step forward, my friend.
Kind of a small meeting this evening. Well, my name is Jeremy Radebaugh. I'm the field representative for the West Virginia Education Association in the area of the Western region. And basically, I just wanted to address the board about the Federal Education Jobs Fund money. That's, I don't know, I'm sure that you're familiar or aware of the fact that there's $54 million coming into the state of West Virginia. Lincoln County is expected to receive roughly $730,117. The money can only be utilized for certain purposes, the main purpose being to rehire laid-off employees. Fortunately, layoffs have not been an issue here in West Virginia compared to other states, but the money must be spent by no later than the end of 2011. The money cannot be put away for a rainy day. Also, it must go towards the benefit of personnel. Most WVA affiliated locals have already done presentations in front of other boards in other counties. The big request that a lot of locals have asked for is that there be a one-time medical supplement for all personnel to help cover insurance costs, medical insurance costs. At the same time, we understand that Lincoln County is different in that it's, well, at least in my region, compared to the other counties, it's under state control, and it must abide by certain, state requirements. But being that the Lincoln County Education Association, the West Virginia Education Association, and also the parent organization, the National Education Association, exists as advocates for education personnel, we just wanted to raise this issue and say that we hope that everything works out, that we will do everything that we can to ensure that the money is spent on personnel one way or another, and we trust that there are plans that it will be utilized properly with collaboration through the State Department. However, there's a short time, the money's got to be spent. It's got to be used no later, once again, than 2011, and the new year is almost here, so we want to make sure that the money's utilized within the proper time frame. So, thank you for your time.
Sir,
yes.
Could you give us that figure one more time, please?
Okay, the overall money in the state is $54.7 million. I forget I don't have the original figure with me that was to Lincoln County because they've subtracted 2% from each original amount. So I averaged it out and it would be 2% of the original amount. I came to $730,117.
Lincoln County's amount is $730,000.
That's my understanding. Yeah, when you subtract 2% from the original amount, that's on the form. That was.
What kind of stipulation?
No, that's fine.
Yeah. What kind of stipulations that you were saying it has to be used for personnel?
Well,
that's come from the federal government, right?
Yeah, this is it's kind of like a stimulus package, but for education employees. With there's been a lot of layoffs, furloughs, cutbacks, throughout the country in education, as everybody's aware. The big purpose was to rehire those that have been let go because of economic conditions. To hire new employees, but unfortunately that would be temporarily unless the counties and the school districts would cover after the year's over because the money's only there for a year. To reduce split grades is another suggestion that it's used for, and also medical reimbursement, medical supplement to help pay for medical costs. It can't be used for a bonus, but it can be used to help pay for medical costs. It cannot be used to pay debts. It cannot be used to pay for textbooks or technology. Those are some of the other regulations and restrictions. It's my understanding that Mr. Roach has been talking to the State Department, and they've ordered the counties under state control to use it specifically for, correct me if I'm wrong, the Achieve 21, which is to help pay for tutoring, which that also goes to personnel. So which is also acceptable, and that's why. So, anything else?
Is that critical skill? Is that the same thing?
No.
Is this in addition to?
Yes, in addition to that.
Is Is this tutoring during the school day or after?
Well, we're working on trying to figure out what we can do and the best way to do that. The curriculum team we brought in principals with their faculty senate advisors trying to come up with some kind of a brainstorm how to utilize it. And, we will use some next year as far as to keep our tutoring programs going in our schools. That we can use, our money will be gone, and we can use that money next year to help take care of that. And we do not have a plan to bring you, so only speculation what we're doing.
I thought I understood that money had to be spent
By
2011.
fall 2011. Now, I think what you're saying is you would pick up the cost after the fall of 2011.
My understanding that we have this year to spend and next year.
But not spring of 2012, is my understanding, just the fall of 2011. That's the way I've been told.
Okay, but as of now, we haven't spent any of it.
It actually has to be spent for obligated of 2011.
I think obligated and completed myself, but I don't, it's no use to get into discussion because we have the grant, we have the information, so there's no use debating it here on the floor, so to speak.
Yeah, and, I mean, the thing is, in other counties, we've made suggestions and offers, and we've asked the money to be used in different areas. But here, according to Mr. Roach, I mean, he's been talking to Dr. Payne, and the states that are under his state control have to use it for certain, and they're going towards the G21. We just want to make sure that the money is used and not go to waste, basically. So.
Sure, it will be.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy.
The other counties, you say they were paying medical, are they giving them?
Ms. Candy, could you meet with him outside,
Oh,
please,
okay.
and discuss that?
All right, thanks.
Well, I think we'd like to know too.
Well, but we're out of it. That is not an issue, Ms. Candy. We cannot do that. She may be talking about other counties, but not us.
We will get further updates
Yes,
on
but
this.
we are mandated right now to do Chief 21, so we've got to do that. So we do not have the flexibility as other counties have, or may have. They may go with the Chief 21 also. But I can share what a Chief 21 is, but the main part is tutoring our kids to raise achievement.
After school?
Anytime.
During?
We have,
Anytime.
anytime, but we have to come up with a plan, the personnel, and that is a lot harder than you all may think to come up with people, even tutors. We cannot find interventionists to fill the slots that we posted and cannot find people to do that. So we're under a real kind of,
You're under a tight window. You have a year to spend it.
yes.
Well, actually,
We're
Fall
encumbered,
2011.
encumbered, I
That's what
think.
you have to know.
I figured.
This one, this one.
I think it ends 2012. Personally, I think it has to be encumbered.
It'd be in the fall.
But all that information will come forth once we develop the plan.
You just keep us updated.
We
How
sure
about that?
will.
All right, let's move on to the administrative section. Mr. Roach.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Under administrative, we have the school bus, adult riding it. B, again, it's the volunteers under each school. C, it's a Marshall University student. We appreciate this to perform clinicals and observations. D is the organizational chart, and the only thing that's changed was, or tweaked, was adding Kevin Pritchard to our chart, and of course moving the person to assessment director, Jeff Minkin. Yes,
If we have any, are we to discuss that now? Or?
anytime you want to, yes, sir.
I'm just trying to look at this and see, for consistency purposes, pages 1 and 2. Because I see on the front page, the assistant superintendent appears to have supervisory control over both personnel support services and C&I on the other side. Okay. But then on the next page, it lists the personnel support side of the equation, but it doesn't show the other side. See what I mean?
The curriculum side?
Yeah. I'm just wondering, should that also be on there? It doesn't show the CNI, but, you know, it shows the personnel and the various support services, but it doesn't show CNI. I'm just trying to see for consistency purposes or thinking, you know, should that be shown under the assistant superintendent on both sides? Although I was thinking possibly that maybe the assistant had more direct involvement in the one shown here.
Well, I think what this is showing on the second page is mainly when we talk about our directors. They report to the assistant superintendent. On the other side, we're looking at that's their, because we got a whole organization, that's a curriculum.
Well, I agree, but.
Where would you like to, where would you
Well,
think it would go if it
Well,
was over there?
but if it, but let's say it is the directors. If you look right above C&I on the front page, it's got special ed director. Well, if you turn the page, that on the left side, special ed director would also report there. So, you know, the implication to me was that would also be under the supervision of the assistant too. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but it looks to me like the same ones are shown under C&I. You see special ed director, and there's school nurses right above at the, you know, level or so down. And we see school nurses up here under the assistant superintendent's title.
Where would you think that be best to put curriculum instruction would be added? Where would you put it?
I would, where you have assistant superintendent underneath there, where it has personnel, Title IX, student services, that just something that would be all-inclusive, that would have C&I.
I don't have a problem with that. You all see that be consistent? Anybody disagree?
Have no problem at all.
Okay, we will correct that if we may before that's voted on. Would you please
Let's make a correction. Let's just add that right there where it has the arrow going down.
Right.
We just put C and I right there. Would that cover it?
Right above here.
In here.
In here, in this particular box?
Yeah, just, I guess what I was saying is, assumption being that the assistant superintendent has authority over all other personnel in the absence of the superintendent, and it would be reflected on the chart.
And they do. Curriculum included.
Right, that's all I was trying to say.
But I think it is reflected on the organizational chart here. I don't know whether this would be,
It doesn't hurt to
I mean,
put
you
it in
can,
there
it's not a big deal.
and pleases any board member. I'd like to do it.
yeah, let's do it.
We need to make
I just want to be
a motion
consistent.
to change it.
That's all I'm saying.
That's good for me.
And
Okay.
that includes all the principals.
Yes. Yes. All inclusive.
All
In
inclusive.
absence of me, it's total.
Food and drinks and everything.
That's right.
Okay, so,
Hey, I forgot where I was.
we're in the,
Yeah,
Do we
no.
have to make a motion to change that?
we could do it at the end.
I think we'd accept it at the end where you take the
Okay.
motion since we corrected it. I'm not sure.
I'll write it down.
Okay, E, this is a federal requirement, and that EETT stands for Enhancing Educational, something,
Through
technology.
technology. Enhancing education through technology.
Yeah, through technology. And that's a federal requirement, so something we have to do. Contracted service with AEP, and this is where we purchased the transformers for the school, and it's cheaper in the long run to do this, and what we're hoping for, that in case there's surges or, you know, transformers are blown, whatever, how they occur, that Ms. Candy will be checking on the insurance to see if we can pay for that, you know, cover it with our insurance. Delton Vision, employee eye care, that's just the upgrade to renew. And out-of-state travel, as you well know, we're very proud of our vocational side. We're doing an excellent job.